This is the story of Anna Vermeer, a young maid working at one of Amsterdam's most prestigious five-star hotels, and Richard Collins, a powerful millionaire from New York, who believed he had seen it all, until one surprising moment changed everything. Anna Vermeer was only 24 years old, but life had already shown her hardship. Her father had passed away when she was 16, leaving her mother and younger brother struggling to survive. Anna gave up her dream of becoming a teacher and took whatever work she could find. Eventually, she was hired as a maid at the Grand Imperial Hotel in Amsterdam. Her life was simple: cleaning suites, changing bed sheets, delivering laundry, and making sure wealthy guests had everything they needed. But despite the humble job, Anna had something very rare. She was exceptionally kind, polite, and spoke multiple languages fluently, including Dutch, German, French, and English. She never told anyone about her skills. To most people, she was just a quiet maid in a plain uniform, invisible in the glittering world of the rich. One summer evening, the Grand Imperial Hotel prepared for a VIP guest. Richard Collins, an American millionaire, was arriving for a week-long stay. Richard was well known in the business world, ruthless in negotiations, always surrounded by assistants, never smiling unless a deal was won. People called him the Ice King because nothing seemed to impress him. When he checked into the hotel, staff rushed around nervously. His suite was enormous, filled with luxury. Richard barely acknowledged anyone, except for a brief glance at Anna, who was quietly setting fresh flowers on the table. For Anna, he was just another guest. She had seen plenty of wealthy people who looked down on hotel staff, and she didn't expect anything different from him. 3 days later, something unusual happened. Richard was in his suite preparing for an international video call with business partners in Europe. But just before the call started, his phone rang. Richard was in the shower and shouted, "Someone pick that up!"
Anna happened to be in the room, finishing up the cleaning. She hesitated. Maids weren't supposed to touch the guest's phone, but the phone kept ringing urgently. Finally, with trembling hands, she answered. "Goedemiddag. Met wie spreek ik?" "Good afternoon. Who am I speaking with?" she said in fluent Dutch. There was silence on the other side, then rapid Dutch speech poured out. The caller was one of Richard's European business partners who didn't speak English well. Without missing a beat, Anna calmly took notes, answered politely, and promised that Mr. Collins would return the call shortly. When Richard came out of the shower, Anna nervously explained what had happened and handed him the notes she had taken, in perfect Dutch, translated smoothly into English. For the first time in years, Richard's icy expression melted into surprise. You speak Dutch? Fluently?" "Yes, sir, and some German and French as well." Richard studied her carefully. She wasn't boasting. She wasn't trying to impress him. She had simply done what she thought was right. For the rest of the day, Richard couldn't stop thinking about it. How could a hotel maid, someone who earned so little, speak multiple languages so fluently? The next morning, Richard deliberately called Anna into his suite. "I need your help," he said bluntly. He handed her a document in French and asked her to translate it. Anna read it slowly, then explained the content clearly. Then he gave her a German email. She translated that too, perfectly. Richard leaned back in his chair, astonished. "Do you realize what you just did? You handled documents that some of my highly paid assistants would struggle with."
Anna smiled politely. "I just studied a lot, sir. Languages were always my passion." Richard frowned. "Then why are you working as a maid?" Anna lowered her eyes. Because passion doesn't pay the bills, Mr. Collins. My family needed me. Dreams had to wait. That night, Richard couldn't sleep. He thought about Anna's honesty, her humility, and her hidden brilliance. Unlike many people he dealt with, she wasn't chasing wealth or power. She was simply doing her job, quietly and with dignity. The next day, Richard did something no one expected. He called Anna again and said, "I want you to work for me." But Richard wasn't done. He invited Anna to dinner at the hotel restaurant and gave her a test. During the meal, he introduced her to 3 of his European business partners, each speaking a different language. Anna translated seamlessly, switching from French to German to Dutch without hesitation. The businessmen were impressed. Richard watched closely, not just her skills, but her character. She was respectful, humble, and didn't try to show off. After the dinner, Richard made his decision. Anna blinked in shock. "Sir, work for you?" "Yes, not as a maid, as my personal interpreter and cultural advisor. You have talent that's being wasted here." Anna was speechless. She had never imagined such an opportunity.
"Anna," he said, "I'll be direct. I want to sponsor your education. University, language studies, whatever you want. And when you're ready, I want you on my team, not as an employee, but as a partner in my European branch." Anna's eyes filled with tears. For years she had sacrificed everything for her family, believing her dreams were over. And now, out of nowhere, this chance appeared. "But why me?" she whispered. Richard looked at her steadily. "Because you reminded me of something I had forgotten. True talent can come from anywhere, and kindness matters more than ambition. When you answered that call in Dutch, you didn't do it for recognition. You did it to help. That's the kind of person I need by my side." Within months, Anna's life changed completely. Richard sponsored her studies in linguistics and international relations. She traveled with him across Europe, handling negotiations, translating complex contracts, and earning respect wherever she went. The staff at the Grand Imperial Hotel couldn't believe it. The quiet maid in the simple uniform was now flying first class, dining with world leaders, and representing one of the most powerful businessmen in America. But Anna never forgot her roots. Every month, she sent money home to her mother and brother, ensuring they lived comfortably. And she always treated hotel staff and waiters with the same kindness she once showed as a maid.
2 years later, Richard held a major press conference in Amsterdam. His new European headquarters had just been completed, and standing beside him was none other than Anna Vermeer, no longer a maid, but the official director of European operations. When reporters asked about her sudden rise, Richard smiled and said, "Sometimes the most valuable person in the room isn't the one in the suit, it's the one you almost overlook. Anna was once a maid who answered a phone call. That single act of kindness revealed a talent that changed my business forever." The audience erupted in applause. Anna's story spread worldwide as proof that destiny could change in a single moment when kindness, humility, and hidden talent meet opportunity. And as for Anna, she finally achieved her dream, not only of studying languages, but of using them to make a difference in the world. Never underestimate the power of kindness or the value of hidden talent.
One small action can change your life forever.